They didn't lie to protect you. They lied because they were afraid. Afraid of debt. Afraid of markets. Afraid of losing what little they had. And that fear became the most expensive lesson you ever learned about money. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't struggle financially because they earn too little. They struggle because they were taught to avoid money instead of understand it. And that lesson is quietly breaking down right now. For decades, the advice was simple. Work hard. Save what's left. Avoid risk. Don't talk about money. Don't owe anyone anything. It sounded responsible. It felt safe. But safety has a cost. And inflation has been collecting it every year. This matters now because the system your parents grew up in no longer exists. Wages haven't kept pace with prices. Housing didn't just get expensive, it became financialized. Savings accounts stopped being protection and turned into slow leaks. Yet the advice stayed the same. So let us slow down and look at how the system actually works without pretending it is fair or clean. Money is not just something you earn. It's something that moves. Governments print it. Banks lend it. Markets multiply it. And the key detail most people miss is this. New money enters the system through debt. Not work. Not saving. Debt. When central banks stimulate the economy, they don't send checks to savers. They lower interest rates so borrowing becomes cheaper. Banks lend more. Assets inflate first. Wages come later, if they come at all. That means the system quietly rewards people who are comfortable using money early and penalizes people who wait until it feels safe. Your parents were told debt was dangerous. In their world, that made sense. High interest rates, unstable jobs, few financial tools. But today, avoiding all debt doesn't make you disciplined. It makes you invisible to the system that allocates opportunity. Here's the math. No one explains. If inflation averages 5% and your savings earn 1%, you're losing 4% every year. It doesn't feel like losing. Nothing is taken from you. It just quietly buys less. Now, stretch that over 20 years. That's not caution. That's erosion. Meanwhile, assets priced in, future expectations, stocks, real estate, businesses rise because money is being created upstream. This is the irony. The system tells you to fear risk, then quietly guarantees that avoiding risk carries one. Public messaging says, be responsible. Don't speculate. Underlying reality says, if you don't participate, you subsidize those who do. And here's the part no one likes to admit. Fear is incredibly convenient for the system. Fear keeps people compliant. Fear keeps money parked instead of productive. Fear keeps conversations shallow. Think about how rarely money was discussed honestly at home. Not numbers, not trade-offs, not incentives, just warnings. Don't get greedy. Money changes people. Rich people are lucky or corrupt. It wasn't a philosophy. It was a defense mechanism. But the world moved on. Today, money is less about effort and more about positioning, timing, access, understanding incentives. And the biggest risk now isn't volatility. It's standing still. This doesn't mean the system is evil. It means it's indifferent. It doesn't care if you're anxious. It doesn't care if you're moral. It responds to participation. Long term, this creates a quiet divide. Not between rich and poor, but between people who understand money's role and people who were taught to fear it. One group asks, how does this work? The other asks, what if I mess up? One studies leverage carefully. The other avoids decisions entirely. And over decades, that gap compounds. Here's the uncomfortable part. No one is coming to update the advice. Institutions benefit when people don't question the rules. Families pass down what once kept them safe. So the lie isn't that money is bad. The lie is that fear is protection. Fear doesn't keep you safe in a system built on movement. It keeps you late. Which leaves one question hanging. and it's not a comfortable one. If fear shaped everything you were taught about money, how many of your financial beliefs are actually yours?